Number 10. Kia Sportage. How does a Kia Sportage drive? The Sportage has spearheaded Kia's comeback over the past few years and, at times, has been responsible for a quarter of the company's new car sales, so it is correct to state that it is one of the vehicles that has done so. The fact that there will be so many options is great news for those looking to purchase a used car. In addition to its large supply, the 4th generation Sportage is a wonderful used buy for a number of other factors, including its appealing styling, usefulness, low cost of purchase, and the fact that many of them are still protected by Kia's outstanding warranty. The initial diesel engine options were a 1.7-liter with 114 brake horsepower, the best-selling model in the lineup, or a 2.0-liter with 134 brake horsepower or 182 brake horsepower. Additionally, there are 2 gasoline options available, a 128 brake horsepower 1.6-liter engine and a more potent 174 brake horsepower turbocharged 1.6-liter engine. A new 1.6-liter diesel with 114 and 134 horsepower to replace the 1.7-liter engine and some 48V mild hybrid technology to increase fuel efficiency on some diesel models starting in late 2019 were the 2 most major changes to the engine lineup. There are 6 tiers to choose from in terms of the equipment: 1, 2, 3, 4, First Edition, after KX5 and subsequently GT Line S and GT Line. We say 6, because all 2.0-liter diesel models were badged with a KX- prefix before each number trim level for reasons that are only known to Kia, even though they did not have any more equipment. Thankfully, after the revamp, this perplexing naming scheme was abandoned. Number 9. Hyundai Tucson. Harsh, rocky, and dry. That is how the Arizona desert looks, and that is the sort of image that the Hyundai Tucson's moniker is meant to evoke. But don't let it fool you, the Tucson is by no means an avid all-terrain adventurer. It's actually a family SUV similar to the Nissan Qashqai, Peugeot 3008, and Skoda Karoq, making it more appropriate for more routine activities like taking the kids to school or transporting the family on vacation. To be fair, though, these difficulties can be just as difficult as a hike across the Santa Catalina Mountains. The Tucson had a choice of 2 petrol engines, a 133 brake horsepower 1.6 and a 174 brake horsepower turbocharged version, and a choice of 113 brake horsepower 1.7, 134 brake horsepower when paired with an auto gearbox, and 134 brake horsepower and 181 brake horsepower 2.0-liter diesels up until its facelift in 2018 and eventual replacement by an all-new 4th generation version in 2020. However, in 2018, 2 new 1.6-liter engines with 113 horsepower and 131 brake horsepower each took the place of the 2 weakest diesels, while a 2.0-liter engine with mild hybrid technology replaced the most potent diesel. Throughout, a 7-speed dual-clutch automatic transmission option was available, and on select versions, it could be paired with 4-wheel drive. Number 8. Porsche Macan. The Porsche Macan is made to appeal to experienced drivers, unlike other SUVs. In actuality, it's designed for customers who have outgrown a Cayman but don't want to part with the Porsche name or the fun of driving a Porsche. Consider it the best of all worlds, an automobile that is entertaining and useful at the same time. The Porsche Macan has grown significantly in popularity since its launch over 10 years ago, which has been great for the manufacturer. The Porsche Cayenne, the other SUV from the Stuttgart marque, is smaller and more expensive than this one. The Macan is available with a selection of 4- or 6-cylinder turbocharged petrol engines, however neither an electric version nor a plug-in hybrid are currently available. Even the sluggish model can frighten off hot hatchbacks at the lights, but the S and GTS versions can accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in less than 5 seconds. Even though the Macan is getting on in years, Porsche likes to tweak and refine its goods throughout the course of their lifetimes, and this particular model has undergone 2 significant facelifts. The latest model kept the Macan competitive against rivals like the Audi Q5 and hot variants of the Jaguar F-Pace and Mercedes GLC by introducing modified exterior styling and a redesigned interior. Number 7. BMW X1 Petrol. The BMW X1 is a perfect example of how not all trendsetters succeed straight away. Despite the fact that it contributed to the surge in popularity of small, upscale SUVs, the first model was actually a bit of a letdown. In addition to being incredibly practical and enjoyable to drive, this second-generation vehicle also comes in a plug-in hybrid, xDrive 25e, configuration with extremely low CO2 emissions and a claimed pure electric range of up to 31 miles. Of course, there are also a ton of standard diesel and gasoline engines available. Even 4-wheel drive is an option. The most recent X1 has been around for a while, but over that period, it has received multiple updates to keep it current. These consist of a facelift, an interior overhaul, and some new infotainment technology. The diesel engines have also attained RDE2 compliance, which simply means they are clean enough to not incur a higher company car tax penalty than identical petrol vehicles. Number 6. Hyundai Kona. The Hyundai Kona offers you a lot of options, if there is anything. There is a variant of this odd-looking hatchback that will work for you unless your day involves tearing up and down freeways. It is available in petrol, hybrid, or pure electric form. Actually, there used to be a diesel version to cover that as well, but it was discontinued from sales owing to a lack of interest. The gasoline and hybrid variants are the main subjects of this evaluation. Check out our review of the Kona Electric if you're interested in the electric version. What is the Hyundai Kona and who does it compete with, then? The Ford Puma, Seat Arona, Skoda Kamiq, and Volkswagen T-Roc are some of its main rivals, and since it is a small SUV, it provides a somewhat high driving position similar to that of other vehicles. However, it is more effective than all those options because it provides the choice of hybrid power. A large 10.3-inch touchscreen infotainment system with smartphone mirroring, adaptive cruise control, and even self-steering are available as options. Number 5. Audi Q2. Audi chose to go tiny when it introduced the Q2 a few years ago after successfully demonstrating to the world its ability to design medium and big SUVs. The Q2 came on the market and showed right away that tiny SUVs might be more than simply a trend. Its compact size and level of build quality were worthy of the fabled four-ringed logo, and the Q2 is still punching above its weight half a decade later. It may be the smallest SUV in the lineup from the German manufacturer, which also includes the Q3, Q5, Q7, and Q8, but it's also the most popular. In fact, it's the third most popular vehicle overall for Audi, only behind the A1 and A3 hatchbacks. Audi has updated the Q2 over the years, which is one of the reasons it has stayed popular. The most recent model added LED headlights, with adaptive matrix LED headlights as an option, as standard equipment across the range, along with a more aggressive grille, a sharper-looking body kit, and some additional standard equipment. All Q2s now get rear parking sensors and cruise control, for example. This democratization of technology is significant because price has traditionally been an area where Audi's smallest SUV has struggled to compete with rivals. The Q2 is nearly the same size as a Ford Puma or Volkswagen T-Roc, but it costs far more to purchase. Number 4. Citroën C3 Aircross. The French automaker's entry into the small SUV segment is the Citroën C3 Aircross. Additionally, it would take a dearth of baguettes for a car manufacturer to disregard the demand for cars in this category. The sharp-handling Ford Puma, the unexpectedly roomy Skoda Kamiq, and the comfortable riding Volkswagen T-Roc are just a few of the competitors. Small SUVs were once the epitome of appearance over substance, but today there are plenty that are excellent buys, at least if you're not looking for anything tough enough to save Reynero. The majority are two-wheel drives, including all iterations of the C3 Aircross. Number 3. Honda HR-V. The Honda HR-V was a vehicle that was once on the road. It had an odd appearance and took the idea of a high-riding off-roader but put the emphasis on the road, foregoing the typical tough chassis in favor of something considerably softer and more tarmac-friendly. The 2005 end of manufacturing of the original HR-V led Honda to revive the moniker for a 2015 small SUV that competed with contemporary models like the Nissan Juke, Citroën C4 Cactus, and Toyota CHR. There is only one turbocharged 1.6-liter diesel engine and a 1.5-liter normally aspirated petrol engine in 128 and 180 horsepower versions, with an automatic gearbox as an option on the latter. However, the HR-V is well equipped. Even the base S trim comes with fun features like automated lighting and climate control. The trim levels rise through SE and SA Navi before reaching the opulent EX. So far, everything seems okay. Unfortunately, the HR-V isn't the best vehicle in the world once you put it on the road, so there is some bad news on the horizon. Number 2. Mazda CX-3. It's uncommon to find a compact SUV that manages to be both intelligent and entertaining, but the Mazda CX-3 appears to succeed in doing so. First off, although not trying too hard to be fashionable, its mature design manages to be stylish. Additionally, prospective buyers would be right to hope that this vehicle has just the appropriate amount of Mazda's sporty DNA to make it enjoyable to drive. It's essentially a Mazda 2, a charming but utterly traditional little hatchback with front-wheel drive below. To make up for this increase, the CX-3 sports a 40mm higher riding height and modified steering and suspension. The Kia Soul and the Renault Captur are just two examples of the many identical competitors in this class, which has experienced an incredible surge in popularity. 3 engines are available for the CX-3, 2 gasoline and 1 diesel. The gasoline engines are both 2.0-liter ones, with one producing 118 horsepower and the other 148, while the diesel is a 1.5-liter one with 104 horsepower. The more potent gasoline type is exclusively offered with 4-wheel drive. Number 1. Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross. You need to look distinctive in order to be noticed among the throng. Consider the family SUV market as an example. You need to be a little bit more daring if you want to succeed, because it looks like every automaker has something to offer in this area. And possibly as a result, the Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross has the appearance it does. But at what car? Unusual appearances are insufficient to convince us. To ensure you're getting the most car for your money, we examine past the obvious things. How does the Eclipse Cross compare to vehicles like the Peugeot 3008, Seat Ateca, and Skoda Karoq, which have already received our endorsement? In terms of the engine, not so great. Currently, there is only one engine available, but many of this car's competitors at least give you the option of a petrol or diesel engine. The 1.5-liter gasoline engine with 161 horsepower turbocharger in the Eclipse Cross, though, at least makes it fairly quick. However, the response of the accelerator pedal is somewhat abrupt, making it difficult to execute a clean pull-away, and the engine can be fairly raucous when accelerating. The Eclipse Cross drives just as a tall SUV should. In turns, there is noticeable body lean, and the slow, vague steering gives the driver little assurance or sense of how the front wheels are moving. At the very least, parking is pleasant and light.